Good morning. In the last lecture, we talked about expectation value. Expectation value of any variable, any physical quantity corresponding to a particle in motion can be formed. The way it can be formed discussed in the last lecture. The next article is about operators. Let us see what are these operators. Let us consider dynamical variables of the particle in motion. Dynamical physical quantities of the particle in motion. Total energy E, momentum P, etc. are the dynamical physical quantities or dynamical variables of the particle in motion. Total energy is the physical quantity corresponding to the particle in motion. Momentum is also the physical quantity of the particle in motion. But these physical quantities, these dynamical variables are to be expressed using the way we discussed in expectation value for finding expectation value of total energy and that of moment. It is seen that the way we used to get the expectation value of position of a particle in motion cannot be used as it is to get the expectation value of total energy or the expectation value of momentum of the particle in motion. Let us first try to write expectation value of total energy and that of momentum of the particle in motion using the procedure in expectation value, so that expectation value of total energy and momentum may be written as expectation value of total energy will be equal, that will be integration of the limits minus infinity to plus infinity psi star E psi ds, equation number 1, and expectation value of the momentum P bar, integration over minus infinity to plus infinity psi star P psi ds, equation 2. Using the procedure of expectation value of total energy of a particle in motion is given by equation 1. and expectation value of momentum of the particle in motion is given by equation. This is the straightforward way of writing expectation values for the dynamical variables, dynamical physical quantities of the particle in motion. We feel that at the beginning these are the correct way to express expectation value of total energy and momentum. Until we realize that this is not allowed by the uncertainty principle. Until we realize that such expectation values for total energy and momentum are not allowed by uncertainty principle, we may feel that these are the straightforward ways and we can express expectation value of total energy and momentum very easy. But uncertainty principle does not allow this. Let us see what is this uncertainty principle and why this uncertainty principle does not allow this type of expressions for expectation value of total energy and momentum, which are the dynamical variables for the particle in motion. In one dimension, the wave function psi is represented as psi of xt. Psi is function of position x and the time. And therefore, to get E bar or P bar, we have to integrate this equation or this equation. That is, we have to express psi star in terms of x and t, psi star psi in terms of x and t. At the same time, in equation 1, E should be expressed as x of t. P in equation 2 should be expressed as P of x. If we express psi star, E, P with these variables in equations 1 and 2, RHS of equations 1 and 2 can be integrated and we may find the corresponding expectation values as shown on LHS of equations 1 and 2. What is this uncertainty principle? Statement of uncertainty principle is this. This is statement of uncertainty principle in terms of momentum and position. This is statement of the uncertainty principle in terms of energy and time. This H cross E is H by 2 pi. This H cross E is H by 2 pi. What is this statement? Delta P is the uncertainty in the measurement of momentum of the particle in motion. Delta X is the uncertainty in the measurement of position of the particle in motion. Product of the uncertainty in the measurement of momentum and the uncertainty in the measurement of position of a particle in motion is always greater than is equal to h cross. Second statement, delta E, uncertainty in the measurement of energy, total energy of the particle. Delta T, uncertainty in the measurement of time of the particle in motion. And therefore this statement of uncertainty principle is product of uncertainty in the measurement of total energy of the particle and uncertainty in the measurement of time of particle in motion is always greater than is equal to h cross. Let us see what is meaning of this statement and what is meaning of this statement. Meaning of this statement is, if you measure P correctly simultaneously at the same time, if measuring x cannot be measured correctly, if P is measured correctly, measurement of x made will be uncertain, will be incorrect, inaccurate, and that inaccuracy, that uncertainty, that error is greater than or equal to h cross. The same thing is here. If you measure energy correctly, the time you measure simultaneously will be uncertain, will be wrong. If you measure the time correctly, measurement in the energy will be uncertain, it will be wrong. So, if energy is measured correctly, time t measured will not be correct. If time t is measured correctly, energy, total energy E measured will not be correct. If momentum is measured correctly, the position x is measured incorrect. If position x measured is correct, the momentum p measured will be inaccurate. It means that momentum and position cannot be simultaneously measured correctly. One of these, if measured correctly, other will be measured incorrectly. And therefore, uncertainties in the measurement of momentum and time simultaneously, product of these two is always greater than or equal to h cross. The same thing is here, but in terms of energy and time. If this is the uncertainty principle, we cannot express C as x of t. If this is the uncertainty principle, we cannot express P in terms of x and t. E cannot be expressed in terms of x and t because of this statement. Because if T is measured correctly, you cannot measure T correctly. If T is measured correctly, you cannot measure E correctly. And according to this statement, if you measure x correctly, you cannot measure P correctly. If you measure P correctly, you cannot measure x correctly. And this equation is not allowed. You cannot express total energy E in terms of x and t. You cannot express momentum in terms of x and t. Because of this type of restrictions imposed by uncertainty principle on the energy E and momentum P, equations 1 and 2 written for expectation value of total energy of the particle in motion and momentum P of the particle in motion are not proper, are not correct. This is the picture in quantum mechanics. And therefore, these two equations written for expectation value of the dynamical variables of the particle in motion are incorrect. What will happen if we do these things in classical mechanics? If we do these things in classical mechanics, the Schrodinger equation will be replaced by Newton's laws of motion. Uncertainty principle need not be considered in classical mechanics. When we are switching from quantum mechanics to classical mechanics, we are switching from microscopic world to macroscopic world. Microscopic world to macroscopic world. Microscopic things, microscopic objects to macroscopic objects. And when we talk of motion of macroscopic objects, we need not consider uncertainty principle. There is no need of Schrödinger equation. Instead, we have to use Newton's laws of motion. We can use Newton's laws of motion in classical mechanics. And we can express E in terms of excitation. We can express P in terms of excitation. Even we can express X in terms of T. This is allowed, this is allowed. This is also allowed in classical mechanics. It means that if a body is in motion in classical mechanics, applying Newton's law of motion, we can know future course of motion of that body correctly in classical mechanics. In terms of specific numbers, this is not true for the microscopic objects in the quantum mechanics, because there we have to consider the wave function, there we have to consider the uncertainty principle. Restrictions are put by the uncertainty principle on the calculations we do, and therefore we have to do the calculations under restriction of the uncertainty principle. It does not allow the future course of motion of the particle to specify in terms of specific numbers. It may be specified, it may be spoken of in terms of probabilities, not in terms of specific numbers. Because of this type of restriction, equations 1 and 2 cannot be written for expectation value of total energy and momentum, which are the dynamic variables of the particle in motion. This way is the incorrect way, improper way of writing the expectation values for the dynamical variables of a particle in motion. Then what should be the proper way of writing expectation values for dynamical variables of a particle in motion? We may consider the wave function of a free particle in motion. Using this wave function of a particle in motion, we can go for finding the correct expectation values for the dynamical variables like total energy of the particle in motion, momentum of the particle in motion. We know how to express the wave function of a free particle having total energy E and momentum P. Wave function for the free particle in motion is this one. psi is equal to a e to the power minus I by h cross into et minus px equation number. This is the wave function for a free particle in motion. Let us get dou psi by dou x from this equation. Psi is function of t, psi is function of x, psi is function of time, psi is function of position. Let us first differentiate this psi with respect to x. So from equation 3 we may know dou psi by dou x is equal to a e to the power minus I by h cross et minus px into differentiation of this exponent with respect to x. So differentiation of this part will become 0, minus will become plus. Differentiation of x with respect to x is 1, so it is ip by h cross. ip by h cross. What is this? This is psi. This is psi. And so this may be further I by h cross into p psi dou psi by dou x. Equation number 4. Similarly, differentiate equation 3 with respect to t to get dou psi by dou t is equal to a e to the power minus I by h cross into et minus px. Differentiation of the exponent with respect to t of this, it will be 0, minus plus minus. Differentiation of t with respect to t1, and what left is minus I by h cross into e. This is what psi, and so dou psi by dou t will be equal to minus I by h cross e psi. Equation number. To express expectation values of the dynamical variables such as total energy and momentum p properly, we have considered the wave function of a freely moving particle of energy, total energy and momentum. Differentiating with respect to x, we get equation 4. Differentiating it with respect to t, we get equation 5. Let us modify equations 4 and 5. Equation 4 can further be written as, keep this t psi to one side, send this I by h cross to other side to get p psi is equal to h cross divided by I dou psi by dou x. Equation number 6. Similarly, let us modify equation 5. Keep this e side to one side, transfer this minus I by h cross to other side to get e psi is equal to minus h cross divided by I dou psi by dou t. Equation number 7. Or this may be further, 6 may further be p psi is equal to H cross divided by I into dou by dou x into psi. Equation number 8. Equation 7 may be E psi is equal to IH cross. This I is taken in the numerator. It will become minus I. Minus I into minus, that will become automatically this. IH cross dou by dou t to psi. Equation number. Let us observe equations 8 and 9. If you observe equations 8 and 9, what you see? Psi is here, psi is here, psi is here, psi is here. It means that this P is corresponding to this bracket. H cross divided by I into dou by dou x. Psi is here, psi is here. It means that this E is corresponding to this bracket. IH cross dou by dou t. H cross by I dou by dou x is analogous to an operator. So I may consider this as an operator. IH cross dou by dou t is also analogous to an operator. So I may consider this as operator. This operator is corresponding to momentum. Let me call this as momentum operator. This operator is corresponding to total energy. Let me call this as total energy operator. So this P represented by H cross by I dou by dou x is known as momentum operator, and this E corresponding to IH cross dou by dou t is known as total energy operator. The symbol used for operator either P or E is always in boldface. So the momentum operator can now be written as this is in boldface form. Bold letter is used for this, and this is what H cross divided by I dou by dou x, equation number 8, and it is known as momentum operator. Similarly, from equation 9, so from equations 8 and 9, we write equations 10 and 11. LHS of 10 is P in boldface form. It is bold letter. E is also in boldface form. It is bold E. This is known as momentum operator P. This is known as total energy operator. So whenever in quantum mechanics you find boldface letters such as P and E, these boldface letters are corresponding to operators. So momentum operator P is always H cross divided by I dou by dou x, momentum operator. Boldface letter E is equal to IH cross dou by dou x, equation number 11. It is total energy operator. Okay, so starting with the wave function for freely moving particle with total energy E and momentum P. Differentiating this equation with respect to x and t to get equations 4 and 5, and then writing them in this form 6 and 7. Okay, getting this for P, this for E, we got the momentum operator for the freely moving particle as well as total energy operator for the freely moving. And we are going to make use of these operators for representation of the expectation value of total energy and momentum of the particle in motion. We are going to express the expectation values for dynamical variables of a particle in motion, such that these expressions will be correct and in accordance with the restrictions put by the uncertainty principle. This is about half this article. Remaining half article will be dealt in the next lecture. Hope you got it. Till then, thank you.